Polls.
The last number's the biggest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd I do, Joe? Is that your ATM PIN code?
Yeah. That's weird. I'm skeptical because
Big up King Bayu. It's not the Wi-Fi, brother. It's a computer, not the Wi-Fi. I've got a very, very old MacBook, but I will be updating that very, very soon. It's not the Wi-Fi. It's a computer. I promise you.
because I've got that PIN code in the mail. I have a second ATM card.
Leave that for the end, huh?
You want to try it again?
Not yet. I don't like to do the same thing. I got to do better
I want to
stuff.
see it again, though. I want to see if you could do it again.
All right, before we go.
But they don't do it a second.
Joe was so annoyed. Joe gets so rattled by this shit. But I know some people have that kind of reaction with magic. He kind of wants to prove him wrong. Like, go and do it again. I dare you. I dare you do it again. I bet you won't guess it a second time in a row. Like, fucking hell, Joe. It's just a magic trick, man. It's just for shits and giggles. Like, have some fun. Let your fucking hair down, bro. You're trying to ruffle, trying to kind of, you know, expose him for as a charlatan. It's not real. It's like, we know magic isn't real, bro. We know there's definitely some hijinks, whatever, some sleight of hand, whatever, some suggestive prompts put in your head to make you reveal the number. We know Wagwan. It's just hard to figure out how he did it, which is what makes it fucking magic, right? That's what makes it so impressive. He made it look so easy. But Joe's like, no, do it again. Do it again.
Second time at the end, because Perlman can't do it twice. And I hear you already, it's mentalism, magic, deception. Of course he can't actually read Joe's mind, you ding. Shut up and enjoy it. But he's selling a book through people impressed by the bank pin trick, saying you can learn too. But you can't learn that through body language, so it feels slimy.
There's no way this is right? I can't read minds. And that's why I say I can't read minds. I read people. Like, I learned how to do this. I've trained myself for years. This is a skill, not some sort of ethereal gift. Light didn't shine upon me. I've taken a set of skills and I've developed them, and a lot of them are transferable to other people.
He won't ruin his mystique by admitting to social engineering, allegedly, but it's the most logical explanation if you're looking for one. Otherwise, don't watch. Enjoy the level 99 mage and keep your illusion unbroken. He also pulled Shane Gillis's pin code and quite a few others, which makes me think Warren Smith, which this video is based on, could be right. A mentalist or his assistant with a thermal imaging camera can see exactly what buttons were just pressed, revealing the order through hottest to coolest. A thermal residue attack common in the hacking world. And then the mentalist or his people observe this since Perlman knows or meets so many people through his fame. The guy has a million photos with famous or powerful people at dinner. Shows like Punk'd did a hell of a lot more, undercover bosses. A guy this big having a crew that gains info from his next target is not as far-fetched as it allegedly sounds. But
why is this like a big hold on. Is he trying to sell it as if he's like a mind reader? I don't think he is. No? I get it if people are trying to, or maybe it says it here actually. My bad. It says it right here in his bio. So maybe the fact that he says he's a mind reader, people are like, no, you're not fucking reading minds. You are obviously doing a trick. You're obviously doing something, suggesting something beforehand, maybe researching properly about people. I don't know, whatever he's doing. But it's not what he says it is. But I think most people with common sense would know that, no?
But hey, just theorizing for fun. But even Joe thinks the guy stole his mail or has connections at the bank, so he's clearly not thinking this is mentalism alone. His body language says, have I been compromised?
Have you ever done that to people and then withdrawn money?
No comment.
Interesting. Interesting.
I'm trying to avoid criminal, and I know that you think you gave me no information, but I'm telling you that good luck.
Do you think Joe would notice? No, but I think he would though. I think probably the richest people in the world, most likely the poorest people, because, you know, we all know that poors and the rich probably have a lot more in common than they think. Most likely the richer you are, the more anal and the more fucking on it you are with your bank and stuff. Like, you're checking that every minute. You know what you have in every account to the penny. Same with a poor person. They know exactly what they have in their account. So most likely, Joe would definitely notice if somebody tried to withdraw $10. He would definitely even know. No, I'm not talking about alerts. Just would he notice in his account if somebody took $10 without him knowing? He definitely would. He knows exactly what's in every bank account that he has, for sure.
Finding out how in the world could I have found out your ATM PIN code? You said nobody knows this.
Learn a lot beforehand.
Very little.
Right.
My interaction with Joe was minuscule before we were on air.
But the idea about the ATM PIN code happened potentially years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I do that a lot, though. The ATM PIN code.
Oh, okay.
But I explained to him how to...
end of that, maybe. He
got
gives him an
angry
envelope.
because-
Yeah, big up Big Booth. Bro's just autistic, not psychic. Yes or no, said Big Booth. Exactly. Big up Asad Aziz. Joe, just shut up and enjoy the magic, you Debbie Downer. Exactly. Big up the Crack Fox. He gave the whole trick away right at the beginning. The last number is the biggest one, right? He's asking questions that give him the answer without realizing it if you're dumb. No, of course. That whole charade, the whole game, the whole asking questions, the whole like stop. Like, we know what he was doing. Like, I don't know. I don't know why this even has to be explained. Obviously, he's extracting some type of information from those questions. You wouldn't ask him the way he does. He doesn't say the things that... Everything that he says is very intentional. He knows exactly how to use his words in a certain way. The cadence, the gaps in the middle, the little jokes. This is all a way to extract information to kind of give him an idea on what the number is. And then to make an educated guess. There's probably still some risk involved, I'm assuming. If it's just him just posing questions and then getting like social engineering way, I still think it's quite risky because you never know if that number is legitimately right. If it's what he said in the beginning, where maybe it's thermal imaging thing, and before he does research and finds out a clip of Rogan entering his pin, something, I don't know, whatever. Maybe that's also true. But if it's just social engineering, there is an element of risk involved because you never really know if you got it right, you know? But he's probably of a high enough level in terms of suggesting things to people where he can kind of coax them into a response that will get him the right answer more often than not. That's all it is. It's not voodoo. Don't know why Joe's so like tense about it. It's like, bro, just have some fun and let it go. Obviously change your pin after, but it's not that deep, bro.
The beginning
No,
of the
I saw the clip. Yeah.
The 14 is crazy.
As he says there, I knew or I do that a lot, referring to the bank pin code trick. He planned it for a few years, then he turns that back into, Joe doesn't believe I deduced his code from his body language, but I can.
Crazy.
He doesn't believe that he gave anything away by what he said. I didn't want to be confrontational. I'm like, that's what I do. I reverse engineer. So in a lot of instances...
That's the thing though. With someone like Joe, who thinks he's really smart, and he takes himself probably a lot too seriously than he probably should, which is obviously, again, I think that whole exchange probably shows you why the GRE isn't as good as it used to be. You know, let's be honest. Because Joe takes himself way too seriously. Like, he honestly was... If you watch the clip, obviously we reacted to it before. I need to make a clip for it, actually. He gets really tense and pissed off at the guy. He gets really tense and pissed off at him. Like, what the fuck, you know? He's really annoyed that this guy guessed his pin. Or he's kind of going towards guessing his pin. He gets really pissed off about it. So, clearly Joe didn't enjoy it too much. He did not enjoy it too much. Because he always wants to be in control. He thinks he can kind of, you know... He thinks he doesn't give anything away. He thinks he's the most stoic person on earth, blah, 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 blah. He's just susceptible to a scam or to a hustle or to getting fucking twanged. And he got twanged. It is what it is.
So you're like, you couldn't reverse engineer. I'm like, yeah, you could though. Because if I suddenly told you how many 6-letter names are there.
And that's where you lose me. The rest of his deduction tricks are quite impressive, but the crowning jewel he sells you on is not something you can learn. While some things can be found through logic, like Jamie's crush's name as a kid or Mark the Flagrant producers, Perlman can consider when they were born, where, what names were popular then, ask about vowels or consonants. There's many ways he can pinpoint it down. And no. See that? Joe's eyes twitched and he moved a little bit or something, so the first number is 7. Again, most of the deduction tricks are impressive, which he will somewhat explain with truth, but he won't actually explain the impossible to know ones. He instead rambles about how to remember people's names.
Why should he though? Isn't that how he makes his money? Am I confused here? Isn't one of the cornerstones, one of the main commandments of being a magician is never to reveal your tricks? Someone else can reveal it, but you don't ever say how you do it. Sure, that's part of the whole point of being a magician. That's how you make your money. By trying to make a very simple trick, a very complex trick look simple, but then not maybe explaining how you did that simple
bunch.
trick. Yo, big up Asad Aziz.
Magic and mentalism is a lot like comedy. When I'm at the mothership, I know exactly what my audience is thinking. I'm casting a spell on them. Now do that riff again.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Big up Asada Zeus. Big up Asada Zeus.
As a misdirection.
in your industry.
Yeah.
How often have you met somebody and 3 seconds later, you don't know their name?
99% of the time.
Right? If I were to switch careers, I could be a scammer tomorrow. I could do psychic stuff, but what do you do when you get... So I need to hook you in instantly and have you stay around till the end.
Your new book, Read Your Mind, comes out October 28th.
Damn, are you reading my mind? Awareness of things and remembering them. And
Raw, man. Big up this guy, though. Big up Oz Perlman. That is hustling, bro. I've never seen somebody do a promo run like that. His book is out in October, and he's doing all this promotion in June. Not even July, June. And his book comes out in October. Raw, Ted, bro. Big up Oz Perlman. That is a proper push. Proper run. Proper marketing run for a book. You don't see those type of promo runs anymore. Big up him and his team. That's actually a good idea.
honestly, in my life, people give me credit for reading their minds, and half the time, it's purely memory. I just know a lot of stuff.
He'd be the GOAT politician, but ironically, it's the truth. He already knew Joe's code when he walked in the door, allegedly.
I have a second ATM card.
Leave that for the end, huh?
You want to try it again?
Not yet.
Of course he can't tell you twice, as again, no body language can give that away. I know, shut off the brain, enjoy the bread and circuses from above. And again, it's still a very impressive performance as a whole, but even subreddits dedicated to Breaking Town Magic have comments and disbelief. I get it, many won't buy his book and don't think he can actually read minds, but many do. And maybe if he wasn't selling something, it'd feel less like used lemon car salesman vibes. He butters you up with these or the coin toss flip, which of course is just regular magician tricks of weighted coins or etched patterns on one side. I mean, look how sloppy this sleight of hand was.
2 words. Can I turn this around?
It says Joe Rogan.
It says Joe
will.
Rogan, and I don't want to touch. Will you do it? I don't want to touch. Grab that one, that pink one out.
Okay.
I ain't touching it, but I am. And I get it, it's magic, but maybe make your book vanish then, as nobody's learning the secret sauce by making Perlman's wallet bigger. Again, really most of it's memory through scheming, as he and Flagrant pointed out earlier in the podcast, as a joke.
Still, there was no mention of a pin code before that moment to him.
Yeah.
And so he thinks that I somehow stole his identity.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks I'm a Mossad agent. So that was quite
Yeah, by the way, that was what I was surprised by. Like, Joe, it's a PIN card for a bank card. It's not that deep. It's not like he's, you know what I mean? He didn't steal your identity, like, relax. And he can't do nothing with your PIN code if he doesn't have your card anyway. Like, or just a copy of your card. Like, he needs to have some way of accessing your account to make that anyway worthwhile anyway. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why he was so scared. It was like, bro, it's just a PIN code. Just change it. Maybe he doesn't want to change it, fair, but it ain't that deep. He was getting really scared.
funny in the
Yeah,
comments.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you did guess. You guessed the bank code. I don't know if you're leaning into stereotypes in here, but if you know somebody at the bank, that might be an easy thing to do.
Roman
That is like your go-to thing now that you mention it. It's always bank related.
I mean, he did work for Merrill Lynch. Rogan's reaction really does show this. His body language changes entirely. It goes from games of deduction to, you must have social engineered me to get that. That's a lot more believable to me than everybody being in on it with Perlman, or that he actually guessed the right number from the possible 10,000 total combinations through Joe's body language alone. The show he puts on is still entertaining, but damn, don't add to these book sales thinking he's actually going to give up his source for the really impressive acts. At that point, the impressive trick is another rich guy taking money from poor people for information you can find online. No mentalist will give away their best tricks nor admit to social engineering due to the weird ethics and legalities of that, as Perlman points out here.
Have you ever done that to people and then withdrawn money?
No comment.
Interesting. Interesting.
I'm trying to avoid criminal. Yeah, so I want everyone to know that was correct, right? That is,
Yes.
you went 2020.
Yeah.
That's a weird question to ask somebody anyway, to be fair. You're not asking them to admit a fucking crime on camera. Very strange. Very, very strange.
That's correct.
Ironically, Rogan had more pushback for his bank pin than he did for the FBI director, covering up Jeffrey the Island Boy's abseiling adventure gone wrong in jail.
Everything we have so far is.
Have
the
you
universe.
guys gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much damn time.
Right.
And
is there video from the island?
not of what you want.
So this narrative
He's such a liar.
might not be accurate, that there's video of these guys doing this.
Exactly.
According to your own attorney general, there are 10,000 hours of videos of that. You're lying to me in athleisure?
If Ozpelman has a black belt in reading people, Kash Patel has a black belt at being read by the entire world. Having those two episodes back to back is just the universe's sense of humor at work.
What did you think before you got in office? Did you think that Epstein was murdered? Suspicion at all of it?
But I have a different background, right?
Right.
So
why is the FBI protecting the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Good guy Joe never misses an opportunity, though. He'll never.
Raw. That's what Kash Patel was saying in 2003. Look at the change, bro. Look at even the demeanor. His eyes are down, avoiding the question. Look at the change, bro. Look at the change.
Right?
Right.
So
why is the FBI protecting the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Good guy.
Wild, isn't it? And all of a sudden, oh, he didn't kill himself. The list isn't that impressive. Don't worry. Nothing to see here. Keep it moving.
Joe never misses an opportunity, though. He'll never mention his good friend Elon's AI gas centers allegedly poisoning Memphis that plan to be rolled out America-wide, or his brother's connection, Kimball Musk, allegedly, of course. But Joe doesn't ask questions anymore. But I get it. Don't reveal his secrets. Buy the next Connected Plants book that's now shut down every single podcast audience's throat. Shut up and be entertained. Thank you, Internet. What would we do without you? And thank you for watching.
What's wrong with being entertained, though, man? I don't know. Why is he calling us out like that? What's wrong with being entertained? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being entertained? What's wrong with some harmless mentalist fun, eh? What's wrong with that? Nothing, I say. Nothing.